Okay, morning everyone. Welcome to briefing on Wednesday the 13th. Not quite what we're expecting to see, more of this sort of low to mid-level cloud loitering over us, and I think it's going to be a feature, varying amounts for a large part of the day really, and you can see it's sort of related to this cold front that's forecast to be sort of draped over us at midday, 1 o'clock. Very weak feature, broken lines in here. I think it's just a cloud feature, to be honest. There is a little bit of rain, or has been a little bit of spits and spots coming out of it, but nothing much. Pressure's dropped a couple of millibars overnight, and you can see in a very slack air mass here, but a general northwesterly flow. As time goes on, this starts to build again and pushes in. So you can see for tomorrow, it's starting to nose its way in. We go into a northeasterly airflow and the pressure builds again. And that's going to establish itself over the course of the next 24, 48 hours. Okay, so TAFs for today. What's up with Farnborough not having an actual TAF? Let's look at Gatwick. They're giving 345 knots, and Heathrow similar 324 knots, so light northwesterly. They're sort of saying Cav okay, and then in the next sort of part of it, broken at 4.5 in the morning, which I think could be this stuff that we're sat under. Hopefully it'll break up as the day goes on. There'll be some thermal activity underneath it. The upper winds, again, got a northwesterly flow, middle of the country, 320, 330, fairly light, 5 to 10 knots, if that. And it's variable down to the south here, so I think a general northwesterly flow, but not strong. Sat pick, I'll just play the animation here, so you can see where the general trend is coming from. There's sort of northwesterly flow down across here, and there's just streams of this layered cloud at various points, much clearer to the north. Unfortunately, that was the area we were expecting to have here. I looked at it yesterday. As I say, it's thick enough in places just to give a bit of spot of rain on the rainfall radar, just little bits here. But I think that'll fizzle out as the morning goes on, and it hopefully thins out a little bit. Temperature wise, it got to 30, just over 30 degrees yesterday. Didn't feel like that under the sort of cloud, but I think it's very similar today. BBC was suggesting 28. I'm probably thinking more like about 30 today again under this cloud. And when the sun did come out yesterday, it was really hot. Dew points, they're definitely lower. Looking at the Lasham weather station, they were 15, 16s yesterday at this time. Now they're down at about 12s, 11, 12, 13 in places. So definitely lower, but the humidity is higher. I mean, it was like last night trying to get to sleep. It was quite sticky, and humidity is about 70, 75% now at the moment. That is a factor today. But as I say, the dew points are a bit lower, which is more of an optimistic sign. This is the ascent near us locally for this afternoon. If we've got 28 degrees, I would have thought you should get something up to around 5,000 feet. But I'm just got this feeling we're going to have bits of cloud in here at times. And again, you show the lines closer together here. But that's what the predicted are saying. Further north, lines up here much further apart. And again, 5,000 feet plus. This is the Bicester Buckingham area. But dew points, if they are around the 10 to 11 mark, you should have bits of cumulus. I think dew points lower than that. If they were down where they're predicted here at 7 degrees, then you're not going to get any cumulus at all. The actual Larkhill sounding, well, it shows pretty much what we've got. Quite a dry air mass in here. Dew point around about 12, 13. The temperature will be up around here somewhere about 28 to 30. So the line goes up to here. And looking at that, if it's that particular dew point, then you're not going to get any cumulus, but you're going to get lots of layered cloud in here, which we have at the moment where the lines have come together. And this is obviously associated with the very, very weak frontal system that's going over us. Okay, so top meteo shows that frontal system here with the cloud, and you just play that through for a few hours. By 11, 12 o'clock, it's showing it dissipating and more or less showing some bits of layered cloud, some bits of cumulus, and cirrus in places. Much, much better to the north. And some cumulus later in the afternoon. Thermal heights there suggesting by sort of 12, 1 o'clock, 12, 1300 meters round here. And in the afternoon, 14, 15, 1600 meters in and around here. Sky sight suggesting the same sort of thing with a potential distance for an 80-meter glider. As I say, better up north. This green was down over us yesterday when I looked at top meteo. Not quite so good here, but better further north. Okay, so sky sight, just cross-reference the two because sometimes they do disagree. Q depth, they're saying potential Q around here, and perhaps blue up to the north, the further north you go. Height of thermals, top meteo, sorry, sky sight are saying 1500 meters, so 4.5 to 5,000 feet in here, and potential flight distance. Again, they're showing a band across sort of Oxfordshire, Cambridgeshire area, but possibly okay here as well. So slightly different picture, but a similar sort of thing. Take a while to get going. It should be okay in the afternoon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, good enough for a couple of 100k, but depends on the thickness of the cloud with that cold front, whether it breaks up and whether it loiters a little bit like it did yesterday. Okay, important stuff today, airspace. It really is. A bit intense in the next 4 or 5 days. So just near us, number 24 is actually parachuting at Farnborough. Sorry, 34 parachuting at Farnborough. Number 29 is the Farnborough airspace. I'll look at that and the Riyadh airspace in a minute, which is number 44. The other stuff near to us, 33, 36, 35, they're all just paragliding and don't overfly for military aircraft, number 42. There is parachuting at Netheravon outside their normal operations. And number 28 is just high intensity radio transmissions. So fairly quiet apart from the two main airspace ones. And if you do go into sort of Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire area, fly past at Bletchley Park and then Santa Pod as well. So nothing to worry about there. That's Old Warden, but it isn't active. It's just notifying that their hours of operation that they will have in a couple of weeks' time are different to the AIC. So the important ones, folks, Farnborough. That's a quick picture of the airspace. There should be maps in the club gliders. Slightly different from years gone by before the airspace was there, because you had other little bits sticking out of it. But essentially, imagine a sort of buffer zone up here. Don't go to the east of too far to the east of Lasham. Stay out of the Odium ATZ and that line north of there, and you'll be fine. So that's surface to 5,500 feet, and a bit further down here, it just lowers the chunks of airspace in this bit here and this bit in here. Further north, you've got Riyadh, starts today, runs for 4 days, and then there's a change of airspace on Monday when things fly away. We'll have maps available for this one. We'll get the office to print some out. The good marker point is Grove Airfield, disused airfield here. Stay east of there and align to Abingdon, and you'll be absolutely fine. Give yourself a good buffer. And again, that's surface to basically the base of the airspace, pretty much. I don't think you're going to get days when you get a chance to overfly it here, to be honest. One last thing, 9:45, there is a fly past. It's basically going from the Petersfield area to Riyadh. It's the Korean Air Force display team. They'll be transiting in that area. So they're going past us at around about that time. We might see them, might not. Hopefully they'll stay to the west of us. I can't imagine we'll be flying by the time they go past. And that's about it. So we'll be operating on runway 27 with a light northwesterly. I know it's northerly, slightly northeasterly just at the moment, but it will be westerly operation today, folks, in a fairly normal setup on the runway. There's no jet movement, so when you want to launch, go cross country, just come out to the runway and we'll get you launched. And we'll see you out there.